The most impactful realization is that you really don't need it. As much as you like sit down like, oh, I need to smoke. Oh, I'm stressed. Oh, like you really don't need it. It's something that you want to do, and when you can really separate the two is when you have control over it. But the need for it is where it controls you, and then that's when you kind of dibble dabble into different things. But when you start controlling it, you control your life, you control it. So just making sure that you're doing it for whatever reason it is. Pick a reason, but it shouldn't be all the reasons. Is what I'll say.
Well said.
Yeah, I appreciate
that too.
Yeah, that little bit that she says that you don't need it, because you don't. It is a choice, and you're right. Anything that you need or become dependent on is an addiction, and life isn't about that.
Absolutely. I like the awareness and the point she makes there for sure.
Yeah. Although there are medical patients that do need their cannabis to mitigate symptoms. However, the goal is to get better so that, you don't have to be so reliant on it all the time.
Exactly.
Trying to microdosing was a really eye-opening, because my first experience with psilocybins was, you ate a handful of caps and stems and you geeked out pretty well, which wasn't bad. But understanding how the microdose works and how it bridges the gaps in your mind and some of the things that you're internally struggling with, and it's more controlled, which is awesome. So you can kind of tear off how you consume and how impactful your experience is going to be.
Yeah, are you a macrodose or a microdose or a combination?
Well, when it comes to psilocybin, very much a microdose. I've had plenty of little panic attacks, I feel like, when I've just had a handful of caps and stems like he talked about there. And I'm actually really excited that there is going to be more measured doses around psilocybin like there is cannabis. Gone are the days of not knowing how much your dose is in cannabis, and I think that's the way it's going to go with psilocybin sooner than later.
It's always the best policy to go low and slow when in doubt. If you've never taken psilocybin, mushrooms before, or never consumed cannabis before, go low and slow, and then wait.
Wait
That's for a while.
It's not working. It's not working.
Like
oh
2 hours. Yes. Wait.
Yep.
Don't jump the gun and just start eating more, because that's where it could get really intense.
Yes.
Yeah. I personally enjoy microdose. I've definitely had macrodose experiences. For me, I don't enjoy vomiting or purging. And ultimately, when I take a macro of anything, I always end up puking. And it's not my favorite thing to be vomiting. However, the experience on the other side of the vomit is always like, oh shit, that kicked it into overdrive.
For sure.
Here we go. Buckle up. Yeah.
The most impactful realization that I've had, it's practically that I'm alive. Before doing any type of plant medicine, before I didn't acknowledge life. I thought life was plain and gray. And after my first ceremony, everything turned in colors. I felt my heartbeat. I felt love. I felt life. I can see life and love everywhere that I just glance, and that was just the beginning of a beautiful journey that I'm in. And plant medicine saved my life, and I can say it over 1,000,000 times. I was ready to pop it, and that brought me back. And I love it so much, and I'm so grateful to plant medicines to have found me. And I'm so grateful to be alive right now and to be able to share my experience and share my journey.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah, that was really lovely.
So my big thing with mushrooms, when I have this thing where I expect people to treat me how I would treat them. And it's a big thing for me. It's really hard because I'm an over lover. And it was my realization that you cannot expect people are who they are, and you have to accept them in order to see them for who they are. Because if you don't, you're going to constantly see them for what you want them to be, and you want them to be you, and it can't be you. So it helped me to move past that and actually build friendships and relationships by seeing people for who they are.
That's great.
Yeah. I think the most impactful realization I had was to not fight changes in life and to go with them, kind of like waves of the ocean. I was on acid and I was at the beach. I was just watching waves. I was kind of going through a lot of different changes in my life. And I'm like, I need to be like that. I need to just be like those waves. And ever since then, it really just changed my perspective on change and really just going through life.
That's great.
LSD at the beach is always fun.
That's amazing. Could watch those waves all day.
Yeah.
Now I try to be very specific with what I'm smoking and when I'm smoking. So I buy sativa and try to smoke it in the daytime, indica at night. Like, or if they don't have it, I try to do like a hybrid sativa leaning for the daytime.
Yeah, there's so much more information now that you can really cater your experience so much more.
Yeah, I don't want to be getting the munchies in the middle of the day. Like, I'm trying to work. I need to be focused. So I make sure I ask my questions. Like, yes.
Then it was more so for fun, like a party thing, a fun thing, a thing to escape. Whereas now it's more so to tap into me and tap into my internal and center myself too. I find it weed now, I do like indica, but during like a meditation right before bed. And it has allowed me to quiet my mind better than I did before. But before it was more so like, oh yeah, getting high, we're partying. Where now it's like, this is for me.
That's great.
Really medicine.
Yes, right. Now it's a medicine.
Well, that was really interesting. I'm glad we had the opportunity to listen to some of the members of our community. And, we're actually going to be filming more podcast confessionals at Friday High Day After Dark, September 15th at the Warehouse 215. We are delighted to bring that back. And Weed Maps is our official sponsor for that podcast confessional. So make sure you come to the event. You can find tickets on sale on August 18th, and you can visit our website at Plant.Body.Soul.com. Just go to the calendar events page and grab your ticket there. But we'd love to see you. We'd love to hear your insight and feature you on the podcast.
We'll see you there.